What if I told you McDonald's biggest profit isn't from Big Macs or fries? What if the real money lies in land, leases, and empire-level control things you never see? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on McDonald's billionaire secret, how a burger joint became a real estate and royalty giant. Stay until the end, because I'll reveal their bold moves for the future and one risk they're betting their empire on. Would you invest in a burger business or a landlord disguised as one? This is the story of history, struggle, legal battles, and an empire built behind a golden arch. Let's dive in. McDonald's began in 1940, when brothers Richard and Morris McDonald opened a single drive-in hamburger stand in San Bernardino, California. Their breakthrough was not just burgers, but a radical focus on speed, efficiency, consistency. They streamlined the kitchen into an assembly line of food production, the Speedy Service System. In 1955, Ray Kroc, then a 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman, was impressed by the McDonald Brothers restaurant. He opened the first franchised McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois. Through franchising, Kroc scaled the brand nationwide and eventually bought out the brothers in 1961, making the corporation his. In the 1960s and 1970s, McDonald's faced resistance, local zoning, competition, supply constraints, but they always tightly controlled menu, branding, and operations. Over time, they refined what we call today their three-legged stool model. Franchisee suppliers, host corporation, real estate, property control. That stool would evolve, but those legs laid the foundation for how they really make money. At the end of Act 1, McDonald's is rising, but the biggest secrets are still hidden. What if the real cash wasn't in burgers at all, but in property, rent, and royalties? Let's pull that apart. In this act, we'll break down how McDonald's makes its money beyond just selling food. We'll uncover the hidden revenue streams, legal dynamics, challenges, and controversies. Today, roughly 90 to 95% of McDonald's restaurants are franchised, not owned by McDonald's. The corporation collects royalties a percentage of gross sales from franchisees, plus rent on the land and buildings they own or lease. Franchisees pay initial fees, ongoing royalty percentages, commonly 4 to 5% of revenue, and rent and or lease payments. Because McDonald's often owns the land and building, they act as landlord to franchisees. This gives them control and a steady income stream, even when food sales fluctuate. In many cases, McDonald's retains 45% of the land and 70% of the building assets across its global footprint. The dual stream royalties plus rent makes McDonald's less dependent on the volatile margins of operating restaurants themselves. Think of McDonald's as less a fast food chain, more a fast food real estate empire with fries on the side. McDonald's land and property holdings are massive assets. By owning land and buildings, they can buy low, lease high, and control key locations. For example, during downturns like the 2008 recession, McDonald's acquired more properties at cheap valuations, strengthening its real estate backbone. Some analysts have called McDonald's a $30 billion real estate company disguised as a burger chain. While the company considered spinning off its property holdings into a real estate investment trust to unlock value, they have historically avoided that due to risks to their business model. Running your own restaurants is capital-intensive labor, supply, maintenance, utility costs, margins thin. But when McDonald's offloads this to franchisees, its cost exposure shrinks. In many years, 82% of profits from franchise operations are retained by the corporation versus only 16% from company-owned operations. The leverage of the model means that a small increase in royalty or rent has outsized effect on corporate profit. McDonald's also gets income from licensing deals and sale of supplies to franchisees, though these are relatively smaller compared to rent plus royalty. Despite the compelling model, McDonald's has faced legal scrutiny, especially claims from franchisees or former franchisees alleging discrimination, unfair treatment, or manipulation of lease contracts. In June 2025, more than 40 former black franchisees filed a lawsuit accusing the corporation of discriminatory policies that forced many out of the system. At the same time, grassroots organizations led a national boycott targeting McDonald's over its rollback of certain DEI initiatives. That boycott and falling US same-store sales has pressured McDonald's image and forced responses. In 2024, McDonald's ended its AI drive-through trial with IBM across 100+ US locations, citing inconsistent results. Why mention that? Because as McDonald's leans more on tech and automation, missteps can threaten the secret model they've built. So, the secret's out. McDonald's makes serious money from land, rent, royalties, and legal power. But what about today's performance and where they're heading? In this act, we focus on McDonald's current performance, 2024-2025, its strategic future plans, risks they're facing, and what could break or supercharge their empire. In Q1 2025, McDonald's global comparable sales fell Mach 1.0%, due in part to a 3.6% drop in US same-store sales. US consumers tightening budgets have led to a drop in transactions. But in Q2 2025, the story turned positive. Global comparable sales rose 3.8%, US up 2.5%, consolidated revenue up 5%, and operating income jumped 11%, 8% in constant currencies. So they're managing to bounce back via promotions, value bundles, and global growth even amid US pressure. Still, the US core market remains under stress. CEO has warned that many customers are skipping breakfast, a staple segment for McDonald's. McDonald's introduced a growth strategy called Accelerating the Arches to guide its evolution, covering digital, operations, real estate, menu innovation, and more. Under that strategy, they aim to serve more customers more often by improving speed, convenience, and value. One initiative is the Ready on Arrival pilot, allowing customers to walk in and have their order prepped without waiting. It's being expanded to top 6 markets by end of 2025. They are also leaning into digital ordering, app loyalty, AI for supply chain and logistics, and automation in kitchens. But they remain cautious. Their AI drive-through project was pulled in 2024 after trials, though McDonald's says voice ordering will still be part of future plans. Menu innovation is real. Snack Wrap is returning in the US in 2025. Also, McDonald's is rolling out Krispy Kreme donuts across US stores, expecting full national rollout by end of 2026. They are also ramping hiring. In 2025, McDonald's planned to hire 375,000 employees across the US, one of its biggest recruitment pushes. The legal challenges from former franchisees could escalate. If a court finds discriminatory or unfair practices, McDonald's could face damages, reputational harm, or changes to contracts. The boycotts over DEI rollback, if sustained, could damage brand loyalty, especially among younger consumers. Technology is a double-edged sword. Failed automation or AI misfires could backfire. Real estate concentration is powerful, but also risky. If property values collapse or regulations change, their holdings could devalue. Their dependence on franchisees means misalignment. If franchisees struggle from rising labor costs, supply chain, inflation, McDonald's royalty and rent income could suffer. Global exposures, foreign market volatility, regulatory changes, currency risk can erode margins despite domestic strength. Now, what could push McDonald's to break apart or reinvent itself next? And how might that connect to other titans like Apple? Let's finish strong. McDonald's secret isn't just flipping burgers, it's flipping the script on how a fast food chain makes money. Land, rent, royalties, real estate dominance, and legal control layered with innovation and risk management. They've built an empire that can survive recessions, disruptions, and public backlash. But no empire is unbreakable. If you found this dive revealing, you'll love the next story. Click on the end screen to watch the dark truth of Apple's $353 trillion empire, because the rise and risks of tech empires echo the same hidden machinery. See you over there.